Hello everyone, welcome to the weekly Purple Penny coin video. It's Monday at 12 PM in Adelaide, South Australia, and my name is Mark. I run the Purple Penny coin shop along with my wife Catherine, who's over there doing the packaging for the weekend. We have these videos every Monday at this time. I think this is about the 80th or 90th one week in a row we've done this. We're coming up to our 2-year anniversary, which is good. So the shop last week was fine. We had a fair bit of gold and silver come and go. Some nice coins come in, a few nice pre-decimal coins, and then the usual collector coins from the mint, from people getting out of their collections or changing their collections or needing to cash in or whatever it is that they need to do. It was an enjoyable time in the shop. We had a good time on Saturday with our young helper Jared, who is proving to be a real boon for us. We do enjoy having him in here. Right, not much coin news this week. I guess there's the points there. One thing I didn't pop on there was that the Renix catalogue has been, the release date has been finalised, which is the 1st of June. So this is the 31st edition. The prices have gone up $5 for both editions, the soft cover and the hard cover. We've put in a fairly big order for those catalogues, so they'll be available for pickup here in the shop, and hopefully we'll have enough stock left over for our website. We're hoping to, we'll just have to do the numbers I guess, but we're hoping to just keep the price the same as the last edition. That's our goal at the moment, so I guess if you are wanting one of those books, just let us know and we will put your name on our list, and they'll be available for pickup in shop or purchase through the website on release day, which, as I said, is supposed to be the 1st of June. Let's just say some hellos to people. Hello Mike, John, Gary, Clay, Dillis, Brendan, Ogie, Cam, Karen, Ben, Andrew and all the Gravy Train people, how you going? Jason, Dan, who's a shop regular, and Glenn. Hello everyone, thanks for watching. Now next Thursday is going, not this Thursday, next Thursday is the next release for the mint, and as I said last month, this is going to be our biggest mint release ever. We got a decent sized allocation of everything apart from one of the coins, so there will be stock available on our website at 8 PM Adelaide time on Thursday the 7th of April, and that's rolls and C mint marks. So if you are wanting to purchase those, do jump onto our website at 8 o'clock Adelaide time on Thursday the 7th of April. There'll be some of the I've just forgotten which coin it is, the rotary, I've forgotten what coin it is, the coloured dollar coin anyway. Actually, we can have a look here by just bringing up what the releases are. So that's all the releases there. So we've got Bicentenary of the Royal Agricultural Society. Sorry, that's the thing that's being released. So we'll have some of those coloured dollar coins up on our website on release day. There will not be any of the silver proofs up on our website. We didn't get enough of those, but certainly there'll be rolls of the B coins, there'll be C mint marks, and there'll be coloured Royal Agricultural Society dollars. Okay, so if you do need those, jump onto our website, and of course you can just register your interest with us beforehand, and we will take your name and contact you on release day if we were able to allocate any of those to you. Right, so just a reminder also that the Coin Expo here in Adelaide is happening. There's the dates there. It's the first weekend in October. 8 AM Adelaide time, Thursday, April 7th, says Catherine. I thought that's what I said, if I didn't say that correctly. So it's 8 AM Thursday week. Release time is 8:30 Eastern time, which is 8 o'clock in Adelaide. Mark, how do you get hold of the World Money Fair Privy Mark $2? Probably through Downies, I would have thought, Brendan. They usually have a booth over there, and they're the ones that usually get hold of all of those. So I would jump onto Downies and see how you go grabbing it off of them. Gwen's just leaving the mint in Canberra. The mint had some news this week that you're not allowed to use telephoto lenses up in the gallery anymore, so that was interesting. They're obviously sick of people spying on new releases from up in the gallery. Hello Patrick and hello John. Right, so the expo, first weekend in October, free entry. We're hoping that the Royal Australian Mint will come along. There's going to be an overprinted PNC available as well through dealers at the show. So if you are in Adelaide, do please come along. It's 3 days, free entry, free parking, lots of dealers in attendance. I think there's going to be almost 90 tables. And if you are interstate, it is well worth the trip over to have a look. Come on Friday night and go to the show on Saturday and go home on Sunday. It is close to the middle of the city. Accommodation is reasonably cheap here in Adelaide. It's only a short walk from the city, and it's well worth coming along. Right, so we'll just jump back to the news. Sorry, a bit slow today. Right, coin news this week. The only thing that's popped up in my feed is the sale of an Eidmar Aureus. And those of you who know a little bit about ancient coins would know that the Eidmar coins are coins that commemorate the death of Julius Caesar. And Julius Caesar was killed in Rome on the 15th of March in 44 BC. And Brutus, who you may know the name of Brutus. Brutus was one of the conspirators that stabbed Julius Caesar, and Julius Caesar was the emperor of Rome. Some of these coins were struck in both silver and gold, so that's the design of the Eidmar Aureus there. Now they were struck also in silver. They looked pretty much exactly the same, but in silver. So there's only 3 of these known in gold, and one of them sold a couple of years ago for $5.8 million, so not a fairly tidy sum of money. This one here has been holed and has a big scrape on the reverse, but all the design is there. Now wires have been holed. Mike's birthday is on the 15th of March, so is mine, Mike, so happy birthday for a couple of weeks ago. Beware the Ides of March, Mike. The historians the conjecture is that this is holed because it was probably struck and given to a conspirator of Brutus. Now whether that's true or not, who really knows, but you know, it's a nice story. But the imagery on the coin is interesting. You've got the portrait of Brutus on the obverse there, and then on the right you've got 2 daggers, and the 2 daggers are supposed to represent Brutus, who was one of the main conspirators, and Gaius Cassius, who was one of the other main conspirators. The daggers are there is because that's what they stuck Julius Caesar in the back with. And then the thing in the middle of the 2 daggers there is called a Phrygian cap, and Phrygian cap was an ancient Roman symbol of freedom for slaves. So you know, I guess the symbolism is that Brutus and Gaius Cassius have brought freedom through the assassination of Julius Caesar. Now, of course, it did them no good because the successor to Julius Caesar, Augustus, spent the next 30 years hunting down all of the conspirators and had them brutally killed. So it wasn't a great thing to be doing. But these Eidmar coins, certainly in gold, are incredibly hard to get, and silver are incredibly difficult to get to, and still very valuable. And those of you who watch Pawn Stars, one of these Eidmar coins in silver actually featured on an episode of Pawn Stars. So yeah, really interesting Roman coin there, really interesting bit of history. Right, topic of the week this week is one that someone suggested a few weeks ago, which was breaking up coin sets. So what is breaking up coin sets? Breaking up a coin set is taking a perfectly good coin set like this, or perhaps not a perfectly good coin set. So this is a 2012 uncirculated coin set, and cutting it up, taking the coins out of it, and no longer having an intact coin set. Now it's not just cutting up cardboard sets, it could be taking the coins out of a proof set, for example. So you could take the coins out of a proof set, you could take the coin out of a PNC, you could take the coins out of a boxed set. Now why do people do it? There's a few reasons why people do it. Firstly, sometimes you have to do it because the packaging is garbage. And if you just excuse me for a second. So this is a Masterpieces in Silver set. Now, there was a period where the mint packaging for masterpieces in silver set was such that the vinyl on the outside of the boxes actually stuck to the cardboard sleeves. So you basically have to destroy the box to get the case out of the box, and the vinyl on the box is damaged too. So whenever we get those sets in here, we break them up, because you can't sell them as is because the packaging is rubbish. And we've got, as a result, we've got tons of these little silver 50-cent piece restrikes that those sets came in. So those sets were minted from about 90 through to 94 was the badge years of those. So that's one reason why you would break up a set, because you can't look at it anymore. Another reason you might break up a set is you might have a set like this, which is this is a year 2000 proof set. The box is damaged, so it's been poorly stored. It's pierced on the back. It's pierced on the front. There's a hole just there. Now, some people might look at this with the damaged packaging and go, well, I don't really want to keep it like that because it doesn't fit with the rest of my collection, and as such they might crack it out, put the coins into individual holders and store them separately. Similarly with water damaged coins, you could do that. Now, the fourth reason that people do it is that they like to store their collection the way they like to store their collection. So let's say, for example, they might have a complete run of dollar coins, and that means that if a dollar coin is only released in a mint set, or perhaps on a PNC, for example, then they will break that coin out of the packaging and pop it into a safe flip or a 2x2, or perhaps even just shove it into a PVC album, which does happen. So this is a 2003 Coronation 50-cent PNC. It's got a 50-cent that's struck in aluminium bronze, and this is the only way you could get this coin. So if you're perhaps putting together a complete set of 50-cent pieces, you would actually have to rip this apart and store the 50 cents somewhere else. Now, that's fine if people do that. You know, it's collecting is a personal experience, and people should be able to make their own decisions about how they collect. And we'll come to some of the consequences of actually doing that. Now, the last reason why that I could think of why people break up sets is because you can make money out of it. Now, this is a 1985 mint set, and the 10 cent, 20 cent and 50 cent in this set are all low circulation mintage releases, and as such for many years people have been breaking open these sets and selling them individually, selling the coins individually, because you can make some money out of it. Now, obviously these days that has gone past just that. So the Federation proof set is a good example. You can easily crack the coloured 50-cent piece out of that and the coloured dollar, and make more money out of just selling those two coins than you can buy a whole proof set for. And if you don't believe me, go and have a look at sold results on eBay, and you'll see quite often that the loose coins go for quite a bit more than the proof sets do. I don't know why, but people just pay for it. You know, there's no harm. You pay for what you're happy paying for. People have done the same thing with, you know, these coins with coloured coins, these sets with coloured coins in them. Again, you know, it's not unusual to see the individual coins broken out and sold for more than what the sets go for. Strange, but true. Andrew's just pointed out another reason, and of course, yes, you could break the coins out of a set to get them graded. Not a huge fan of that normally myself, because I think it's a bit of a crapshoot with coins out of packages and what grade they get. But you know, there's no, if you want a complete 1984 proof set, then you've got in PCGS slabs, you've got no choice but to break them out of the holders. Now, what's the problem with doing things this way? Big problem is when it comes time to dispose of the collection. So this is a bag full of C Mint Mark $2 that we purchased this off of someone, and they've all been taken out of the packaging and popped into capsules. So the number one, the little caplets that were holding the coins are gone. Number two, the person that did it didn't do it very carefully, and as a result just about all the coins have got fingerprints on them. So, he hasn't realised as much for his collection as perhaps he would have liked. We've bought impaired coins that we need to figure out how to sell. They're very difficult to sell on our website because no matter how you describe a impaired coin, it's never enough. People are still unhappy when they get it. The other problem with taking coins out of holders that they were designed to be in is that if you pop them into non-safe packaging, and those capsules that those are in are okay, but if, let's say, you pop them into self-adhesive 2x2 or PVC album pages, those sorts of things, then they can actually cause damage to the coin, which is going to reduce the value in the long run. There's a coin just behind that screen there that I pulled out of a self-adhesive 2x2 that had sticky stuff all around the corners of it. Now, the size that the person chose seemed to be correct, but it looked like the adhesive had got onto the coin somehow. The whole coin was as sticky as anything. So those self-adhesive 2x2s, if they're used badly, can cause damage. So that's why you wouldn't want to take things out of packaging. Catherine found this for me. We talked about the masterpieces and silver sets with the dodgy packaging, but there were other mint products released that the cases had a felt lining in them, and that actually degrades as well. And this is an example of that set. There's Adelaide to Darwin things. The glue and the felt inside of them degrades, and as such, when you open up, often they're not savable. The packaging is just ruined, and you end up with a loose coin in the capsule. Right. So that's why you break up sets. You break up sets because you want to collect that way. You break up sets because you can't get a coin another way. You break up sets because you're wanting to sell them. Someone mentioned that they break up sets to get the coins graded. Now, they're all, as I said, collecting is a personal experience. You do what you like. They're all valid reasons, but there are downsides to it, and mostly that comes around to when it comes time to dispose of your collection. Collectors tend to want to pay more for things in original packaging, and I guess once you take coins out of their original holders, then you risk damaging them or having them degrade over time. Now, that's not saying that leaving them in the original packaging is always the best thing, as we've already shown, because these degrade in the packaging and those masterpieces and silver sets degrade in the packaging. But on the general balance of things, if you start removing things from packaging and losing track of where the original stuff is, you are going to almost certainly lose money on the resale side of your coins. Right. Patrick says, what do you do to remove fingerprints off of coins? Fresh fingerprints, Patrick, if you know you've accidentally touched something, can be removed with acetone, and that's pure acetone, not nail polish remover. And it can be done very gently by dipping a cotton bud in acetone and rolling it across the surface. Some people soak their coins in acetone and try to remove it that way. I've got no real opinion on what way works better than others. With coloured coins, you can't remove it safely because, of course, the acetone will lift the paint off of the coin. So yeah, don't put coloured coins in acetone because you'll ruin them. Right, Jason, what do you think about removing the red poppy that is glued onto RSL cards to prevent further damage to the coin? I think in that case, Jason, they should be removed. So they were glued onto those cards out of ignorance. They didn't understand that that was the wrong thing to do. Catherine was the one who told them to do it differently. So we've removed a number of those over the years, and you take them off and hope that the obverse isn't toned too badly, but usually it is toned. And as I said, with a bit of judicious use of acetone, you can sometimes remove that glue, but it is quite tricky, and because it is a coloured coin, you have to be careful not to spread the acetone everywhere. Now, unless you really know what you're doing, I wouldn't recommend touching the coin once it comes off of the RSL card, and maybe if you are keen to give it a go, practice on some coloured coins out of your change first, and get used to handling acetone and cotton buds and all that sort of stuff. Acetone is quite volatile and it's noxious, so please do it in a ventilated space and try not to get it on your fingers. So yeah. Right, so that's it for today. Thank you everyone for the questions. It's been a pleasure as always. We're looking for topics for upcoming videos, so if you've got any ideas for topics for upcoming videos, please send me a message or give us a phone call or send us an email. It would be much appreciated. Always struggling for things to talk about. Everyone please stay safe, happy collecting. As I said, thanks for watching, thanks for asking questions, and be well, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.